Hi folks, I hope you're really well. I'm right in the middle of a UK coast-to-coast tour and I'm using a new piece of kit for the first time, which is my new Rhinowalk bike saddle bag. It's a 13 litre kind of bike packing bag. And in this little review video, I'll show you what I've put in the bag in terms of just generally how much it can take, what it's like on the bike itself, and then I'll make one or two comments about my experience using this for the first time. So for my little coast-to-coast tour, I'm carrying a set of evening clothes, I'm carrying some extra cycling kit, I've got a little first aid kit, I've got some toiletries, I wear contacts so there's glasses in there and contact liquid and all that gubbins. I've got a few electrical bits and pieces, like a walking waterproof. Today the weather's going to be pretty awful here in the UK, so I've got a pretty heavy duty waterproof, and I've got a fleece as well because the evenings are a little bit chilly at the moment. So all of this basically is going to go in the bag. So as you probably just saw there, it's super easy. You just stuff your items in almost like a dry bag. It has a dry bag type lining inside the saddlebag, and that keeps everything nice and dry in there. It's pretty waterproof in my experience so far. There's a big thick Velcro fastener right at the top, and then it's just like a roll top way of closing the bag. You can see, and you probably just did a second ago, the clearance is really good, and there's no room at all for that bag to come down any further, so you've got really good tire clearance. You also have the advantage obviously of it protecting your rear end from any muck or kind of spray from the road. It does move from side to side. I need to be a bit careful because it's just leaning on a hotel chair. It moves from side to side quite a bit, but in all honesty I haven't noticed that being any kind of problem when I'm out riding the thing. By way of fastening to the actual bike, there's two really thick Velcro straps that go around the seat post, and then just, I hope you can see this, just under the what would you call it, it's like the seat steel frame underneath the main kind of seating platform. You just have these two straps that go under there and then fasten up that way. It's super simple and really easy to get on and off the bike. And then just finally, by way of features, there's this sort of cargo netting thing on the top, and I've actually found that quite handy if I'm buying extra water or some lunch items and there's a little bit of rubbish or an empty bottle to carry, you know, till I get to the next waste bin. So that's just quite handy for strapping odd little bits and pieces to the outside, and it's yeah, really sturdy. The little eyelet fabric hooks that it goes through seem really well kind of stitched on, and I've not had any issues using this so far. And then just the last couple of things I'd like to mention. So the first one being the bicycle light that I have, the rear bicycle light, doesn't really hook onto the features on the back of the saddlebag. It just doesn't, what's the word? They just don't work together. My bicycle light has got this strap and it's designed to go around the seat post effectively, and it just doesn't work particularly well. So I've got a little bit of thinking to do in terms of what rear bicycle light I can use that actually matches the saddlebag. That's a little bit of a frustration because I would have wanted something that I could just use an existing rear light on, you know, without even thinking about it. And then just the final observation, and I genuinely don't know if this is a feature of all of these kind of bikepacking saddlebags, but when I'm riding when I've got my legs straight on the pedal, I am touching the saddlebag with like the back of my thigh. It doesn't rub, so it's not anything that's going to cause you, blisters or anything. But you feel that sensation on each pedal stroke of like the back of your leg just touching the saddlebag. And when I set off for the very first time using this bit of kit, I got like 10 meters down the road and I stopped and I was fiddling around with the straps and trying different variations of how tight and how loose I was kind of strapping the thing, and nothing stopped the backs of my legs touching the saddlebag. So I just set off on this tour thinking, well, I'll either get used to it or it's going to cause problems and I'll have to bail. And to be honest, after a couple of hours, I'd completely forgotten that was happening. So that may be a feature of all saddlebags, in my experience, and it might be something to do with my own anatomy and the shape of my legs. But yeah, that is a feature of using this Rhinowalk 13 l bike saddlebag for me. It does lightly touch the backs of my legs. As I said, it's not like a rubbing sensation, it's just sort of your leg touches it and then comes off and touches it again very, very lightly, and by the end of a day's riding you don't even notice it. So it's an observation rather than a grumble. The real light is more of a little grumble. But yeah, that's my experience, my little review of try and get the camera angle right, the Rhinowalk 13 l bike saddlebag. Would I recommend getting this? I think if the size is right for what you want to carry, yeah, it's a really sturdy, high quality, decent piece of kit in my opinion. Not sponsored or affiliated whatsoever by Rhinowalk. I just think this is a decent piece of kit. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Please do consider liking and subscribing if you'd be so kind. It really helps me out and I really, really do appreciate it. It's really helping to get this little fledgling channel off the ground. Otherwise, stay safe, take care, and happy cycling. Bye.